It's day one of me living at the airport. This is my journal. I'm in Cape Town, South Africa. I have $70, I believe, to my name. 70 US dollars. I just finished my pet sit, my last pet sit. Nothing else came up. The inspiration to come to the airport was actually from July, because after that pet sit, there was a gap of time, and it looked of about 10 days from one to the next. And it looked like I was given the airport. Why? Where was my preparation? Watching a documentary about a man who spent 12 years in Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. He was the inspiration for the movie that Tom Hanks starred in. Can't remember the name. I watched that documentary and I was really fascinated by it. And there was this sense, you're probably going to hear music behind because I am in a little corner and I have some company, airport staff, that they're down by the plug. Here I am fixing my hair like this phone is a mirror. And that was always something that irritated me when I see people adjusting their phone all the time, using it like it's a mirror. And there I go and I do it. I love these circles. So, yeah, they're charging their phone, so you're gonna hear a sound. Yeah, I watched, I was fascinated by that, and I took note. And it felt like it was a premonition. And I've gotten things like that before, like being gifted a tent. And me going, is this a premonition? Am I gonna end up leaving my house and end up staying in a tent? And that was exactly what it was. And me not knowing that for probably 4 weeks. I had the tent, I was gifted it by somebody, my roommate, who was gonna help me with, having a roommate was gonna help me being able to stay in my house. And she decided that she wanted to go back to California after a couple of months of being there, and she gifted me this tent, asked me, I don't need this. When you travel, every time you go, you want to carry less. And that's the same thing that's happening to me. I'm down to 2 suitcases. I had 3. So I've got 2 suitcases, a large one and a medium-sized one. And got rid of the backpack one. And I have my drums and my carry-on bag, which is, less and less. Just want less and less. So anyway, I saw this documentary and I had this sense, this has been a 7-year journey. That at this pet sit, I've just completed it. I've just went through the death cycle, the dying cycle of this identity of the spiritual seeker, of the goal of enlightenment, of even the pursuit of my own Celestine prophecy. And now that my body is awake, it's not like that part has ended. I don't know any way of making decisions other than through my intuition and through my body giving me confirmation. I don't know any other way now. It has been my practice for the 7 years of diving completely into that. And through the course of that journey, also understanding that my readings will be warped by trauma. And that's why I needed to be guided to work with emotional processing techniques so that my intuition became more and more fine-tuned. So that my ability to live this life that I wanted, where of freedom, I did not understand that my freedom journey would entail and require exposing all of the fears around having freedom, the fears around being spontaneous. I was a person that was so fixed that it was uncomfortable for me, just the idea of doing a last minute booking to go someplace. Okay, honestly, I didn't have the funds for that kind of spontaneity. I wasn't able to make that kind of choice because it was always, okay, so if I take this trip, well, how am I going to pay that rent? Do I delay the light payments in order to do that? There was never enough excess in order for me to be that way, but even that seemed too exciting and nerve-wracking, anxiety-bringing. And so I've had to be trained out of all of that and be willing to just to take the next instruction. And I went through so much in this last pet sit of clearing out that I'm so grateful for. The connection with the owners, with Speedy, who was channeling my Gracie, so that I could really say goodbye to Gracie. Because she was one of those precious things that I had sacrificed to go on this journey. You know, she needed an owner with stability. And I'm so grateful to her, and I got all that healing at this pet sit. Plus, coming to this crisis point of going, all right, this isn't enough. If I can't thrive in authenticity, then I choose death. I would rather die than abandon myself like how I used to. In order to have needs met, in order to have a place to live, in order to have food to eat, how I would have to compromise myself, even in the littlest of ways, in order to pay living expenses, and I'm not able to do that. And as the money lessened and as the food lessened in the cupboard, and not having any money to be able to stay someplace else, I didn't even ask my pet sit person if I could spend an extra couple of nights there. When it was time, I just knew it was time for me to come to the airport, even if I didn't have a plane ticket. I just had to be willing to go through all of the clearing and the releasing in order to be ready for it, which is what the 7 years has been teaching me over and over again. I'm never ready before I am ready. It's not 2 weeks before, go, oh, okay, I worked out all that difficulty. I got 2 weeks of soaring. Oh, let me go to the airport. Yeah. No. It's each day working with whatever comes up and being honest and writing and doing the polarity work and doing the triangle work and doing the prayer work and doing the crying work and doing the welcoming the emotions work, honoring the fear that's there, the thing that hangs on, that feels that she can't trust in the moment. And I'm just so grateful for the process of this movement. And now I'm in a different space. I want to be of service, and I want to cover my living expenses, and I am not going to compromise myself. I'm not going to abandon my body, contort myself in order to get what is fair, to receive what's fair. Let me tell you, growing up, let me tell you, sovereignty of mind, body, and spirit. It's been like a PhD study. I feel like I've been working on my thesis, on my doctorate for these 7 years. Doctorate in life, doctorate in freedom. It's just been so helpful in watching videos from a woman whose program is called No Nonsense Spirituality, with her sharing that humans are afraid of freedom, afraid of death, afraid of isolation, and afraid of meaninglessness. And I've had to walk the gauntlet of all of them. And I'm telling you, while I'm in it, there's no hurrah. There's just rawness. And it's slowly bringing me to everything, everything that I would have wanted, and the quality of life that I would have wanted. Because for me, the inner quality was so much more important than the outer quality. The interior was so much more of a priority. I wanted both. And I want both. I'm not focused anymore on the outer, because I saw that without the inner, it just wasn't juicy enough. It just wasn't. And so I'm just so grateful for this PhD doctoral life that I've been on. And so now I'm no longer a spiritual seeker. I no longer will even, describe myself as being spiritual. I'm just so grateful for the aliveness in my body to show me the way. I'm just so grateful. And I wanted to share that with you on day one of me living at the airport until the next thing shows itself. Bye.